That this girl is one of the best young talents in tennis. I told you she's got the popularity of a rock star around the world. There's people all over the Philippines going crazy because she has beaten Iga Swiatek, the defending champion, on the centre court with a quite fantastic performance.
Well, it was great for me to see her live and being up close and personal, and I was so impressed with her. What I was impressed with was her mental fortitude, her strength, her mentality. She was the one who looked like she had the 6 major titles. It wasn't Iga Swiatek. Iga Swiatek was anxious.
Imagine arriving at Wimbledon, expecting another day of world-class tennis, only to witness the birth of one of the tournament's biggest stories. Every time Alex Eala stepped onto the grass, the atmosphere seemed to grow louder. The applause became stronger, the attention became greater, and before long, fans were treating the young Filipina like one of the event's biggest attractions. As her remarkable run captured headlines across Britain, speculation spread that even the highest levels of British society had taken notice. So what transformed an underdog into one of Wimbledon's most talked-about players? And why are people still discussing those unforgettable days, weeks later?
I went to the second week of a slam, and it's amazing for me. Iga is a phenomenal player and a really nice person, so I'm really grateful to be able to share center court with her at Wimbledon nonetheless. I'm really emotional, and maybe for someone like Iga, who has won so many slams, or maybe someone like Serena or Venus, this achievement may seem small, but for someone who grew up in the Philippines and...
How does a player with no Grand Slam titles become the favorite of an entire Wimbledon crowd? For Alex Eala, it wasn't reputation, rankings, or years of dominance that won people over. It was fearless shot-making, remarkable composure under pressure, and the confidence to challenge one of the sport's biggest champions on its most prestigious stage. By the time center court realized what it was witnessing, an unforgettable upset was already beginning to unfold.
Starting off, Alex Eala takes out Iga Swiatek in straight sets. Alex Eala is the first Filipino singles player, whether that's on the men's side or the women's side, to reach the second week of Wimbledon. The Filipino community rides for Alex Eala, so this is amazing for them and amazing for Alex. And for the Iga fans, I do think that Iga struggles mentally a little bit. We saw that first tiebreak, which was really, really intense. Iga lost it, and then I think she kind of just lost.
When the final point was played, center court wasn't simply applauding another victory. It was celebrating the arrival of a new star. Millions watched as Alex Eala completed one of the most memorable performances of the tournament, while the crowd responded with the kind of ovation usually reserved for champions. That's the unique magic of Wimbledon. Sometimes, one extraordinary afternoon can leave a bigger impression than an entire championship.
The way that Eala went about this match, fantastic to see. We love to see the confidence she kind of came across with, the ability to get down low for to hit winners, just unbelievable. And she's obviously carrying the hope and the expectation of her ridiculously strong fan base that follows her around. So an utterly well-deserved win from her. She won despite the fact that she was also stretching out her legs visibly. That first set especially went to a tie-break, and it was so back and forth, so back and forth. I can't remember if she won a set.
For nearly 150 years, Wimbledon has been the stage where tennis legends are remembered forever. Yet every generation produces a breakthrough that no one sees coming. One fearless performance, one unforgettable victory, and suddenly an athlete's career is never the same again. For Alex Eala, that defining moment may have arrived on the grass courts of England. Part 5. For years, Alex Eala had been viewed as one of the brightest young talents in tennis. Coaches praised her left-handed game, her intelligent shot selection, and a maturity that seemed well beyond her age. Those qualities were sharpened at the Rafa Nadal Academy, where competing against elite players became part of her daily routine. Even so, almost no one expected her breakthrough to arrive on Wimbledon's biggest stage. Then the draw was announced. Standing between Eala and the second week was defending champion Iga Swiatek, one of the sport's most accomplished players. Nearly every prediction favored the Polish star, while Eala quietly prepared without paying attention to the odds. After all, tennis has always been decided on the court, not on paper.
Has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Alexandra Eala is here, and she's here to dominate. Today she had the biggest win of her whole career, and so many records were smashed today for her. She's just knocked out the defending champion Iga Swiatek straight sets in her first match at center court to become the first Filipino player to ever make it to the second week of a Grand Slam. Listen to what I'm saying. This is historical stuff from Eala. Everything about her epitomizes the brilliance of what she is. The grit, the determination, the way she plays attracts so many people.
From the very first game, Alex Eala made one thing clear. She hadn't come to survive. She had come to compete. Instead of allowing the defending champion to dictate play, she attacked with confidence, stepped inside the baseline, and forced Swiatek into uncomfortable positions. There was no sign of hesitation, only the composure of a player who believed she belonged on center court. The crowd sensed it almost immediately. Every fearless winner drew louder applause, and with every spectacular rally, more neutral fans found themselves cheering for the young Filipina. By the time the opening set reached a dramatic tiebreak, the atmosphere felt more like a championship final than a third-round match. When Eala captured the set 7-6, center court erupted. For the first time that afternoon, the impossible suddenly felt within reach. The defending champion was under real pressure, and Alex Eala had discovered something even more powerful than momentum. She had discovered belief.
It wasn't just Rafa who handed you your diploma, it was Iga Swiatek.
It's insane to think how much has changed in the past 3 years. But I do remember I was so excited to see her because every year for graduation in the academy, they would get a guest, kind of like a guest sports star and athlete. And that year, I remember we got Iga and I was so excited because I was like, oh, hopefully we get someone good. And she like threw her hat.
And instead of protecting her advantage, Alex Eala raised her level even higher. She attacked Swiatek's second serve with confidence, stepped inside the baseline whenever an opportunity appeared, and refused to let the defending champion settle into her rhythm. With every passing game, Eala looked increasingly comfortable. While the pressure shifted squarely onto one of the biggest names in women's tennis, the crowd could sense the momentum changing. Wimbledon fans have always admired fearless competitors, regardless of where they come from. Eala's relentless intensity, positive body language, and willingness to embrace the occasion made her impossible not to support. Before long, center court wasn't simply watching an underdog. It was willing her toward history. Perhaps that's why so many viewers joked online that she was being treated like royalty. Every winner was met with thunderous applause. Every sprint earned another roar from the stands. The atmosphere wasn't created by theatrics. It was created by extraordinary tennis.
Far the best set of tennis I've seen throughout the championships. What I love about Eala is she's so clear on what she has to do tactically. Tactically super astute out there. Going in the body serve on the outside was a key play. Also the way she stood in on the second serve, right inside the baseline, dictating the return and getting on the front foot. She was very clear what she had to do. She handled the pressure better. And then after a brutal first set, she gets off to a tear for love, comes out, closes it out, defeats the defending champion. And if she can keep improving that serve, that's the one area in her game which is a little bit of weakness, because when she gets tight, it dropped to about 69 miles an hour. If she can get that serve about 107, 110, this is somebody who's going to win the Wimbledon Championship one day and possibly get to the top 5 in the world. She is that.
The second set unfolded. Even experienced commentators realized they were witnessing something special. Alex Eala never allowed the occasion to overwhelm her. Instead of becoming cautious, she continued playing with the same freedom and conviction that had brought her this far. While Swiatek searched desperately for solutions, Eala kept producing one fearless shot after another. Every attacking return brought her closer to history. Every confident service game pushed the defending champion further out of answers. Then came match point. For a brief moment, center court seemed to hold its breath. Seconds later, history had been made. Alex Eala had produced one of the biggest upsets of the championships, transforming herself from a promising young talent into one of the biggest stories in world tennis. The celebration that followed was about far more than a single victory. It showed exactly why millions of fans had begun believing that Alex Eala's journey was only just beginning.
Straight at the start of the year where there was queues to watch her play. Now there's going to be numerous amount of queues to even get tickets to her. If you got to watch her before, lucky you, because now she's definitely going to be in the main courts. Iga Swiatek is going to be out of the top 5 rankings now, and she fails to defend that title she won last year. But the day belongs to Eala. She's into the second week. My goodness me, Philippines fans must...
The applause inside center court didn't fade after the final handshake. If anything, it became even louder. Thousands of spectators remained on their feet, recognizing that they had witnessed far more than a third-round upset. Wimbledon has always celebrated champions, but it has an equally deep appreciation for fearless challengers willing to test the impossible. Alex Eala had earned that respect, point by point. As she waved to every corner of the stadium, the smile on her face reflected the emotions of millions of Filipinos watching from home. It was a reminder of how far she had come. From junior tournaments with only a handful of spectators to one of the biggest stages in world tennis, moments like this are never created overnight. They are built through years of sacrifice, discipline, and an unwavering belief in a dream.
With Alexandra Eala's biggest win of her career. Yes, she did beat Iga Swiatek in 2025 at the Miami tournament, but this time she beat Swiatek on center court of Wimbledon, which is the biggest stage that we have in the game of tennis. And Alexandra did it in a spectacular fashion. One of the best matches, if not the best match that I've ever seen her play. Prior to the match, I said that it's going to come down to the first serve percentage. Both players needed to serve well to have a chance. And while I don't think that Iga had a poor serving day per se, she did make 68% first serves. The problem came on Iga's second serve. It is here where Iga delivered 5 double faults and only won 32% of her second.
The reaction extended far beyond center court. Across social media, fans joked that Britain had unofficially adopted Alex Eala after witnessing her fearless performance. Others said the Wimbledon crowd had found its newest favorites. But beneath the excitement was something much more significant. Women's tennis is constantly searching for its next generation of stars, and Eala's performance offered a glimpse of exactly that. Her aggressive shot-making, intelligent tactics, and remarkable composure convinced many analysts that this wasn't simply a career-best afternoon. It was the arrival of a player capable of competing with the very best for years to come.
I just cannot get over how good that first set was. It was like ludicrously good. It was like an hour and 20, 25 minutes. And the second set went long as well, just because it was a bit topsy-turvy, but Eala won it relatively straightforward. Just an incredible result for Eala. I'm so happy for her. Swiatek, where does she go from here? Her forehand especially was just visibly hindering her entire game. And players can have like stronger shots, of course you can do that. But Swiatek's forehand is like notably holding her back, notably taking confidence out of the rest of her game. She was visibly getting frustrated multiple times. Just like, and she needs to go away and just work on that, especially. And just, there was a little bit, you know, of a sign of like fight back in that second set, but like there was never really kind of an expectation that she would fight back.
Defeating the defending champion changed the conversation around the entire tournament. Every Grand Slam produces unexpected stories, but only a handful completely reshape expectations. Within a matter of hours, Alex Eala was no longer viewed as an underdog enjoying a memorable run. She had become a genuine threat. Opponents, commentators, and fans all began asking a different question, not whether she belonged on Wimbledon's biggest courts, but how much further she could go. For young players watching around the world, her breakthrough carried another powerful message. Sometimes all it takes is one fearless performance to make people believe that anything is possible.
Alexandra Eala, who has the slowest average speed on her second serve in the top 50 of the WTA Tour rankings, Alexandra won 55% of her second serve points, and she also got 62% of first serves in play. And if you're confused by these numbers, let me simplify it for you. Alexandra Eala happens to have one of the best, if not the best, second serve returns on the WTA Tour. So the reason why I said Iga needed to get a high first serve percentage, which she did in this match, is that Iga happens to be a player who rolls her second serve. In other words, she kicks a lot of her second serves. Now, Iga knows how good Eala is on the returner serve. And that explains the 5 double faults, because this is where Iga was trying to put a little bit more pressure on Alexandra.
Part 12 perhaps. That is why this victory resonated so deeply with tennis fans everywhere. Rankings identify favorites. Statistics estimate probabilities. Experts make predictions. But none of them can measure what happens when confidence, courage, and preparation come together at exactly the right moment. Wimbledon has built its legacy on stories like this. Stories where a single match changes the direction of a career. Whatever happened for the rest of the tournament, one thing had already become undeniable. Alex Eala had earned the respect of the tennis world, captured the imagination of millions, and inspired a new generation to believe that even the biggest dreams can begin with one extraordinary day on center court.